Welcome back, everyone. So today we're going to be looking at doing some texturing for our little pig. In this lesson, we're going to use some shaders, sorry, and yeah, and a few other little bits and pieces to get our desired look. So what I'm going to do is go ahead up into my shading tab, so we can start laying down some nodes for our stylized pig. So once again, we're trying to aim at not to make it hyper realistic. We're just trying to make it look sort of cartoonish. Now this first series of textures, we're going to make it sort of like that waxy, almost stop motion like claymation texturing. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is going to set it into, we're using Eevee to render. And yeah, well, let's just get started. So first things first, we're going to need a light source because I removed the light source from before. Now adding a light source is relatively easy. If you just click in the viewport, Shift A on the keyboard, go ahead and choose your light source. Now use a point, sunlight, whatever light. I'm just going to use a point light for now. Now just put it into the X view. It will be there, it's probably inside the pig. So if you hit G on the keyboard, you'll be able to move it outside. I'm just going to place it right here and just rotate and have a look at it. Now, what we can do is change the brightness of the light. Now, this will be determined by the scale of your pig. Now, there's no real true scaling, really, in my opinion. It's really whatever looks correct. So right now we have 10 watts. So you may end up needing to make it, 20,000 watts to actually light it up, depending on the actual size. But I'm going to go ahead and try 100 watts. And there we go. Okay, this may vary depending if you scaled your sphere up or not when you're first sculpting. All right, so we got a bit of a light source so we can sort of see it. Right now we have just a raw base texture, which is just this gray. If you click on the pig, there it is there. Now we have our principal BSDF and our material output. We're going to be using our principal BSDF, but a few extra nodes as well to be attached to it. Now the first one I'm going to be putting in is, while I'm in this space, Shift A on the keyboard again, and we're going to be looking for a noise texture. Now I can just click on the search and then type in the word noise, or start typing in noise, and you'll see it at the top there. Now I'm just going to go ahead and put it to one side. Next one I'm going to use is a ambient occlusion. So Shift A, search again. I didn't have to type it, it's at the top. So click on the ambient occlusion, drop it in. And then the next one we're going to use is a color ramp. So Shift A on the keyboard again and opt to find the color ramp. Now once again, just start typing in color. There's the color ramp. I'm going to place that there. Now it's a bit of like dot to dot. You just connect all the nodes together. So what I'm going to be doing is grabbing my noise texture into the color of the ambient occlusion, and then get the color of the ambient occlusion, and I'm going to connect it to the subsurface color, like so. All right, and now with my color ramp, I'm going to click it straight into the base color, like so. All right, now there's a few things we have to modify to get the sort of desired look that we're trying to get. First, we're going to add some color to it. Now in our color ramp, where you see the color black, now that is this actual tab right here. Now you can add a few different ones, and when it comes to doing toon shaders, this is really important. But for now, we're going to be just using 2 or 3 of these actual extra tabs. So where the color black is, I'm going to go ahead and click on that and begin to make it a color that I'm desired for my piggy. So just lifting it up until we start seeing the RGB, and pick your color. Now, it can be whatever you want. There's no right answer here, but I'm going to go with your quintessential pig color, and that's that pink. And then I may add another one, like so, right in the center, and maybe just add a little bit of extra sort of darker pinky tones, like so. All right, nothing too fancy. All right, now we're going to go over to our noise and texture. Now, I should probably show you how to do this so you can actually start seeing something. In your subsurface color, if we actually start moving this across, and start adding it in, you begin to see that it starts to take on that waxy look. All right. Whatever number you choose, it really doesn't matter. But I've come up with my own, and I believe I set it at the 0.591, a really random number. And that's it for me when it comes to the subsurface color. There's a few things we need to play with first is the noise and getting that all that you see here, this distortion, just a bit down. Now I'm going to the negative of the scales and I'm going to opt for a negative 51.6. You can just type that in. So that's negative 51.6. My detailing, I'm going to take it all the way up to 16. And then in my distortion, I'm going to go ahead and set that to 62.15. So that's 62.15. Okay, there we go. And we're getting that sort of that waxy look. And with my ambient occlusion, I'm going to make sure I tick the inside and only local. And my distance, I'm going to set this to 28.5. Like I said, there's no real right or wrong with this. It's really whatever you desire. Now, these numbers I've come up with, there's no evidence that it's correct or not. It's just my desired look that I'm going for. That's all we have to do with these three nodes. But we're going to be looking at a Principled BSDF. So I'm just going to zoom in on this so you guys can see a little bit clearer all the settings I'm manipulating. So as my specular, I'm going to go ahead and take that up to 1. Like so. And my specular tint, I'm going to set that to 0.486. So click on it, type in 0.486. And then I'm going to go my roughness. I'm going to take that all the way to 1. Okay, you can start to see that it's starting to change it. And the anisotropic, I'm going to set that to 0.545. That's 0.545. Okay. Moving down. Now, once again, guys, these tutorials are not for professionals. This is for your stage 5, where we're just playing with Blender on the most lowest end to just get some exciting results. Now with my sheen, I'm going to go ahead and change that to 0.362. Alrighty, and let's move down. What else do we have we can play with here? Yeah, our sheen tint. I'm going to go ahead and crank that all the way up. Clear coat. I'm only going to put a little bit of a clear coat on it. Just a tiny bit. Okay. Oh, too much. You know what? Just type in numbers. 0.377. 0.377. There we go. The clear coat roughness. With that, I'm going to take it up to 0.362. 0.362. Oops, sorry about that. There we go. What else? Okay, my transmission. Transmission, I probably won't touch it too much. You can if you want to, maybe 0.24. So I can set that to 0.24. And transmission roughness to 0.673. Okay, cool. All right, so now we're getting something that looks, you know, that desired cartoonish look that we're aiming for. Well, I was aiming for. Now, like I said, you can go ahead and do as much as you want, change as much as you want. Like I said, there's no real right or wrong to this. It's really whatever you truly desire. Whatever makes you happy. All right, now we want to go ahead and texture the eyes as well. Now, I'm just going to texture these eyes a solid black, a shiny solid black color. kind of, like I said, trying to make it as cartoonish as possible. Now, the coolest thing about this is you can go ahead and copy everything that you've done for your pig. So go ahead and go Control C and click on one of the eyes, Control V, and then you can paste it in. Now, if it doesn't paste in straight away, you might just have to add a material for it and then just delete that material until you see it go purple, then go Control V. Okay, you do the same with the other eye. Now with this, I'm going to go change a few of the settings, and then the only real setting I'm going to be changing is the pink. Now we're going to just go ahead and make it black. Turn it all down. We want it fully dark. Okay, here we go. All the way across. Now to get it fully that desired look, I'm going to crank up a few of the other settings here. The subsurface color, I'm going to crank that up as well. What else do we want to play around with here? Let's see. Transmission all the way up. Roughness all the way up. You know, you can also okay, there we go. We finally got that look black. All right, so texturing it, making it look nice and black and dark. I'm going to go ahead and select all that again. Go Control C. Click on my other eye. Make a new material. Select the standard one, delete it, then Control V again and paste it in location. All right, there we go. So that is one of our first sort of texturing techniques. Now, if you wanted to see what it looks like on the floor, just hit Shift A on the keyboard. Go into a plane. S to scale the plane. G to move the plane down. And we can just rotate it and see what it looks like. All right, there we go. All right, so that's our first stylized texturing. The next stylized texturing that we're going to be looking at is toon shading. All right, well, thanks, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.